What's up, Geminites? It's your boy Gemin, aka Spider Gem. Finally doing another every omnibus release so far video. Not really omnibus, but we're doing one of my favorite characters and one that was requested a lot in the comments. Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. Doesn't have any hardcover books for his solo stuff, but he does have some trade paperbacks, so we're gonna go over what's collected. We'll flip this camera around and we'll look at some of the art, which is some of my favorite art. And of course, I had to bust out the Prime 1 Spider-Man 2099 statue, which is a dope statue. Kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because I broke the peg on the foot when I unboxed it. And they are sending me a replacement, but I can still display it. So it's all to the good. Anyway, let's talk about the books. So his first run in the 90s, when Marvel did this whole year 2099 thing, they had Spider-Man 2099, X-Men 2099, Hulk, Ravage, Punisher, Ghost Rider, and a couple of one-shots for this whole world that was set in the future, like 107 years in the future, for whatever reason. They've only been releasing that original Spider-Man run, which was the most successful run out of the whole series. They've only been releasing them in trade paperbacks, and they still have not completed it. They've released 4 volumes, which go up to issue 33, but there's 46 issues, so I guess they could knock it out in one more trade. But they've been including other stuff, like some of those Punisher or Ravage stories, so we'll talk about that. Spider-Man 2099 is from the future, where Spider-Man is like a legend, history. This guy, Miguel O'Hara, I believe he's half Brazilian, half Irish. So he's actually like the first Latin Spider-Man before Miles Morales. He works for this huge company called Alchemex, which is like an evil corporation. He's a geneticist, a scientist there. And he's trying to recreate, I guess you would say, the accident, or recreate Spider-Man's DNA. And he ends up giving it to himself, but it's a little bit different. It actually makes him grow fangs. His eyes are like red, and I guess he has enhanced vision. He gets these little like claws that come out from under his fingers, like kind of cool. Like they come out under his fingertips. And his costume, actually, I just flipped right to the page. He just had it in his closet. It was something from like the Day of the Dead celebrations that they would have. Was it in Mexico? Let me see what he says. Yeah, so it's called the Death's Head costume. When he went to Mexico for the Day of the Dead festival, it can get pretty wild. So he wanted something that had, the costume is made from like unstable molecules so it doesn't tear and things like that. Anyway, it's a pretty cool suit. I always loved the suit, how he had like the eyes with the negative eyes, and it's, you know, the eyes are formed by the mask. Anyway, Volume 1 contains issues 1 through 10. It doesn't contain the preview from his first appearances in Amazing Spider-Man 365. It's one of the 30-year anniversary covers that have the hologram on the front. I believe it's the black cover. But I don't know. I don't know if those 5 pages are reprinted in issue 1 or not. They probably are. So this contains issues 1 through 10. It's got a cover price of $25. Volume 2 is issues 11 through 14 with annual 1 and material from 2099 Unlimited 1 through 3. And I forgot to mention that this Spider-Man 2099 created by Peter David and illustrated by Rick Leonardi and Kelly Jones. Peter comes back in the new series, I believe, and writes it as well. So in the back here, it looks like we have some Hulk 2099. Ravage 2099, I believe, was the only original character that was released or that was created for this run. They started calling it 2099 Classic here. I guess not to be confused with the current ongoing. Volume 3 collects issues 15 through 22, Ravage 2099-15, X-Men 2099-5, Doom 2099-14, and Punisher 2099-13. So there must have been some overarching story here. Here's a Doom 2099 cover, in case I don't get to it on the close-ups. And then the last volume that's been released so far, the last trade paperback, collects Spider-Man 2099, 23 through 33, and material from 2099, number 8. Cool stuff. So I don't know if I forgot to mention, but 1992 is when this original stuff came out. All right, so I was pleasantly surprised when I got back into comics. I was reading Amazing Spider-Man by Dan Slott, and we got to Spider Island. He brought back Scarlet Spider. Dope. Rick Remender brought back Venom as Agent Venom. Loved it. And I believe it was during the Spider-Verse series where they brought back Spider-Man 2099. So they brought him back. I was super hyped for it. This series is known for having great covers. I forget who does them. The first cover was the worst one. But every cover afterwards, and they show them on these trades, was awesome. So we'll look at the covers more when we get into it. I only read a couple of these trades. There's 7 volumes, and it actually completes the run. And I just realized that it went through issue 25, and that was it. But let's see. This collects issues 1 through 5 and material from Amazing Spider-Man #1 from 2014. See, again, written by Peter David. He came back into the fold. I really love this series, man. It's so shocking good. So shock is like a curse word in the future. For some reason, he gets a new costume during this series. Yeah, but we got to look at all the covers, man. The covers are incredible. I got to look up real quick to see who does them. Volume 2 has some Spider-Verse stuff. Collects issues 6 through 12. So I forgot to mention, on these original ones, I mentioned the cover price for Volume 1 was $25. Then it goes to $30, then to $35. These were $18, then $20, $16, $18, $16, and $18. I don't know why it changes. Probably depending on what's in there. Anyway, Volume 3 collects Spider-Man 2099. Oh shit, hold on. 1 through 5 and material from Spider-Man #1 from 2015. So I guess it only goes up to issue 12 for a 2014 volume, and then it gets renumbered as another #1. I did not know that. Okay, so I guess that's what happens. That's when he gets the newer costume, when it gets renumbered as #1. So really, there's like 37 issues of the new Spider-Man. That's good to know. Yeah, because then on out he has this costume. This collects issues 6 through 10. This one's got Venom 2099 on the front. I used to have the full run of the original series, and they had a dope, like, connecting covers and some variants. This collects 11 through 16. It's going down during Civil War II. Apocalypse Soon, issue 17 through 21. And the last volume, which has them both on the cover. I guess there's some time displacement stuff that happens that makes them both around at the same time. I don't know. I got to reread it. Damn, I love both costumes, though. This collects issues 22 through 25. It ends the series, and it also contains the classic Spider-Man 2099 meets Spider-Man from the 90s. So I was happy to see that it collects that. I used to have this. It's like a thick one-shot. You guys remember the cover here. Anyway, let's flip the camera around real quick, and we'll take a look at the artwork, and yeah. All right, guys, so here's Volume 1. I always like how they recolored, maybe even re-inked the original cover for Spider-Man 2099 #1. And everybody and their mother had that book. This was all red foil, shiny, similar to the Venom Lethal Protector #1. So, oh, a Doom 2099 complete collection. I gotta look that up. Dang. All right, cool. So here goes the front page, written by Peter David, pencilers Rick Leonardi and Kelly Jones, inkers Al Williamson and Mark McKenna, colorist Steve Busiato and Noel Giddens. All right, cool. So here goes that original cover. I love the artwork. I love the future setting, flying cars, real Jetsons-like. And then boom, Spider-Man 2099. So you can see the little claws that he has in his fingers there on both hands. It's pretty cool. And a lot of it was in the future, high skyscrapers, everything's in the air. He's always flying around. He's got this little web cape. I forget how he gets the webbing, or if it's organic webbing even. Maybe one of these initial pages will show us. Some of the core characters is his brother. He has this hologram, Lila, kind of like a butler, kind of like a Siri or an Alexa, right? That's talking about the original Spider-Man. Issue 2. So anyway, look, that's how he is right there. Let me see how this goes. Yeah, so I guess after the accident, Miguel O'Hara gets exposed to whatever, and then boom. That's how he looks. He's got fangs. He's got them claws on his fingers. It's pretty cool. That's him right there, man. This is the origin right here. He's got it on his toes as well. So that's how he sticks to stuff. It never made sense how the original Spider-Man can stick to walls when he's wearing like shoes and stuff. Like, it doesn't make sense. Here's where he pulls this costume out of the closet. It's basically just a costume he used to wild out in Mexico during the Dawn of the Dead party. Got some Future Hunter type dudes. I don't like to miss the covers. I missed 3. All right, goes 4. So you start getting different artists, it looks like here, right? There goes his web. Comes out of the top of his arm. Just like the symbiote Spider-Man. Does it say how he creates it? I don't even know if they're web shooters or not. That's me. Alright, cool. So like I said, volume 1, $25 cover price. They were on in-stock trades. I feel like they're not all available on in-stock trades anymore. Anyway, here goes volume 2. I like how they kept going with that theme throughout the whole series. And I think only issue 1 and then maybe annual 1. I think this is the cover for annual 1. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, it has the annual 1 in here, so I'm guessing that's what they did. So it goes issue 11. $14, $13, $20.99 Unlimited #2 with Hulk $20.99. He's like a real monster. Yeah, here goes annual 1. Yeah. You know, very copper era art, which is my favorite. Early 90s. Oh, cool. Look at this. Original cover for issue 11. Damn, X-Men 2099. So they have trades for these 2099s. Man, I'm about to go look on in-stock trades right when I'm done with this video. The hell have I been doing? All right, then you got volume 3. Now they're calling it Spider-Man 2099 Classics. Fall of the Hammer. Punisher 2099. Tell me they got a Punisher 2. Man, let me see what else they got. All right. So you guys get the idea, right? This is all set in the future. Future versions of villains that we already know. Cyberpunks. Think Batman and Robin, the 90s movie. Marvel press poster. Damn, I got to look up some good posters. What is this? Fall of the Hammer cover art. So I guess they were all similar covers for the Fall of the Hammer storyline. So it collects all these issues. The Fall of the Hammer is that event. Cool. All right, so the last trade paperback that we have currently, Volume 4. Cool stuff. I think the Venom 2099. Oh, this is like, damn, this was an Android Spider. You can use his skin in a couple of the Spider-Man games. He's a cool character, though. I forget what his name is. Right here. This is not a clone of Spider-Man 2099. They were very careful to let him know that we're not doing a clone thing. What is his name again, man? Flipside. That's his name. So they could have did a better name. Dope artwork, man. I just love the artwork in these runs. I always remember this cover. Cool. So that wraps up the classics. Then we get into the return of Spider-Man 2099 in the year 2009. Shout out to my man Dan Slott. Now hold on. I think the series came out in 2014. There's something about the year 2009 in here. Anyway, the 2014 series, there's only 5 issues. This cover was the worst cover art out of all of them. But the cover art gets way better. The art throughout the whole entire series is good. Check it out. So I guess this is part from the Spider-Verse or whenever he comes back. Here goes issue 1. He goes issue 2. Issue 2 was pretty cool. Kind of a weird pose, but the art gets way better and for the covers. He goes issue 3. Then we start getting this cover artist. Let me see if I can figure out who's doing the artwork. Antonio Fabella. Okay. Cover art, Simon Bianchi. Terrible. Alexander Lozano was dope. Francisco Martina. I think he's the one that keeps going for the whole time. So he kind of looks like this style. We'll see how the other 2 issues look. But see, all the artwork on the inside looks like this, which is great. Little Scorpion action there. So in this run, he's in our time. So that's like the difference between the 2 volumes. There goes the cover for issue 5. Amazing. Let me see, what happened to issue 4? Oh, here's issue 4. Here goes some variants. Oh, I used to have this variant. I think that was a Midtown variant for number 1. You had to have a variant for number 1 because the original cover sucked. They had a few variants. Oh, I used to have these connecting covers too. Scott Campbell connecting covers. I didn't really like the Scott Campbell version of 2099 though. Looked a little feminine on the Scotty Young. That was during the Scotty Young hype era. So we go to volume 1. Then here's volume 2. Yeah, Francesco Mattina. He does the covers from here on out, and thank God because he kills it, man. There's issue 6. Spider-Verse stuff. So you got a 6-armed Spidey right there. You got those vampire guys, the totems, or whatever the hell that storyline was all about. I guess Punisher 2099 comes back. I don't remember that part. What the hell's the cover? Little Maestro action. I know he has this cover from the back. Anyway. Then we have volume 3, which starts over, and he gets this new costume. I forget why he gets this costume, but there it is right there. This was one of the many Spider-Man reboots. Actually, I think this is the current run, the Spider-Man Worldwide stuff, where he has those Alex Ross covers with that glowing spider. Oh yeah, and Miguel, he works for Parker Industries now, so he's in our world. Oh shit, hold on. Where's the cover art? Here we go. Cover art for number 1. Here's the cover art for number 2. Number 3, crazy cover, man. I would love to have big posters of these, huh? Our artwork is great. Number 4 is kind of boring. I remember that. They had some kind of hunter from the future with some Captain America from the future. I read this. Pretty cool. Some variants in the back. This is volume 4. Yeah, in this costume, he ends up getting like these repulsor boots where he can kind of like fly like Iron Man. I wasn't really a fan of that. All right, well, you get the gist of it, right? So then you got volume 5 with that Venom and Goblin and Electro and Sandman and Vulture. Sinister 6 2099 is basically what we're looking like here. So you got a Ghost Rider 2099 right there. Goblin. You got volume 6 here. Apocalypse soon. Nice electric cover. Very nice. Electra's classic, stab you in the back and let my blade poke your shirt out move. That's a Frank Miller tactic. Very good cover art. You get some bonus stuff in the back here. All right, then the last one. Volume 6, Back to the Future Shock. You got both Spider-Man 209 costumes on the cover. I haven't read this to find out why that happened. Fighting crime before his time. So only 3 or 4 issues here, and then that classic Spider-Man 2099 meets Spider-Man from the 90s. Let's look at some cover art here. Iron Man 2099. Oh shit. Cool artwork. And here's Spider-Man meets Spider-Man 2099. Got the Venom on the cover here. And this was a 90s run. This should have really been collected in the... oh, shit, look at this. Should have been collected in the 90s run. But, that's it. All right, y'all, that's it. Thanks for checking out another every trade paperback release so far. Spider-Man 2099, one of my favorites. Created in 92, like I said. I jumped on it right away. I was always intrigued by the artwork and the idea. Loved the costume. I like that he was a little less of a goody two-shoes than Spider-Man. So, yeah, man, glad to do the review. I know a couple of you guys have been asking for an every Justice League and every Wonder Woman. Those are coming. We'll definitely get to those. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, hit me with a comment, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Also do statue unboxing and reviews. I also do recent reads. So like right now I'm finishing up the X-Men Avengers Onslaught Omnibus. And then I'll do a recent read, which is kind of like a review of the story and of the book itself. No live show tomorrow. My man Milton the Manimal is out of town. So unless I do something last minute where I Skype some people that I mess with, I don't really have anything planned. So that's really it for now. Actually, I should get some packages today from In Stock Trade, so maybe I'll do another comic book haul video later on. But thanks for checking me out. Y'all stay minty fresh. Peace.